Hi, my name is Ethan Zhao, and this is my final project for CS2261. Okay, so here's my game. It's a bus simulator, except if you're familiar with the popular Studio Ghibli movie, My Neighbor Totoro, the bus is the cat bus and the passengers are little Totoros. So basically, you control that bus and you go around picking up and dropping off passengers. This is my splash screen. It has this parallax effect that I was able to implement using two backgrounds that move and scroll independently. So the clouds are one background, and then the entire foreground is the second background. Additionally, this cat bus and these words and the title are all unanimated sprites. So we're going to press select to go to the instruction screen. Here's the instruction screen. Up, down, left, right to control the bus. Don't cross the intersection when light is red. Pick up and drop off passengers before time runs out. And then drive the bus over the arrow to complete the level, but that arrow will only appear after all the passengers are picked up and dropped off. Second page, tips. I put the cheat here, but I will demonstrate that later as well. And I coded this instruction state using linked list and also using malloc to implement this. And so from the instruction state, press select to go back to the menu or press start to play. If you go back to the main menu, you can also press start to play. So you can play from both the states. So here's the game. As you can see, we are controlling the bus using the arrow keys. And my two animated sprites. One is the cat bus, which has 3 frames of looping animation for all directions. And then also the Totoro passengers. Those are also animated. The traffic light is also a sprite, but that mechanism is done using sprite palette modification. So at runtime, the palette is modified, and then depending on what palette row is being called, is what color will show up on the traffic light. Cool. And also pause and resume. And then now the arrow is up there and it's showing, so that means that we have completed level 1, and also I can go back and show later that it doesn't exist at the beginning, but only appears when you've picked up and dropped off the correct amount of passengers. So this is level 2. I'll talk about the sounds here, I guess. So what you're currently hearing, the background music, that one's my looping sound, and I've probably heard it loop a couple times, and it's about to loop again. Yep, there we go. And then if you press the left shoulder button, you'll hear the bus honk. And if you press the right shoulder button, you'll hear the bus meow. And I thought that was pretty fun because it's a cat bus, so it can do both. That's pretty fun. And then also, if you cross the intersection, when the light is red, it will honk at you. And then also, when you exit the bus stop, it will ding, and that's the same ding that occurs between the menu and the game state, and then between level 1 and level 2. Yeah. Oh, and then also, the cheat. The gist of this game is basically to figure out which path to take. There's multiple paths you can take, but it's up to the player to figure out which one is the most effective, most efficient, time efficient, so the timer doesn't run out before you're done picking up and dropping off passengers. But obviously, if you don't want to do that, you press and hold the A button, and it'll show you exactly what path to take. So since I'm kind of already through the level, I can just go back and show sort of a bit of the path. So it'll tell you also like what order to hit the stops at. Excuse me. Yeah, and so that continues from the beginning of the level. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the level. And also I'll show that this is the end of the level, so you're supposed to be able to get up, like, go here. But since there's no arrow, you cannot, and also because obviously there's still 2 passengers to pick up. So once you pick up those 2 passengers, the arrow shows, and you can move on. So this is my win state. It has its own music, and then from here you press start to go back to the main menu. So back to level 1. The cheat for level 1, it operates exactly the same way, so it'll show you exactly which path that is the most effective to take to drop off and pick up passengers. And then also, since I've only picked up 3 and I've not done the rest of the level, I'm going to go up to the end and show that there's no arrow here. But obviously, when you finish the level, their arrow is there, and then you can move on. And then I did that arrow using tile map modification. So the background tiles will only appear once you've picked up and dropped off the correct amount of passengers. And then also, I mentioned before, if you cross the intersection when the light is red, it will honk at you, but it also will decrease the time really, really rapidly. And so I will show that to lose, because when you to lose is when the time runs out, and obviously you don't want that to happen. So this is my lose state. Obviously, we press start to go back as well. And I believe that is about it. So some minor stuff I'm proud of. The transition between level 1 and level 2, because it feels like a continuation of the game instead of a completely different level. The game feels more connected in that sense, but they're still two separate levels. And I did that because I wanted it to feel more like one of those children's rugs, like the nostalgic ones where they play with cars on top of them. And then also the art. I did the art for the backgrounds, and I thought that was pretty fun to do. And I did the art for the cat bus, not this one, but the one that you play as. And so I'm proud of those. And then the sounds I'm also proud of because I think that they're pretty silly and they fit on theme. Especially the cat meowing and bus honking. And then also the linked list. I'm proud of being able to do that. Oh, and also tile map modification, figuring out how to do that on a large background since we only did those on small backgrounds in class. That was pretty cool to figure out. But yeah, that is my game. Thank you for listening and watching.